We haven't done this in a while, but today is gonna be another episode of Johnny Putter Reviews, where we play 18 holes with just one disc, in this case 2, because we're gonna be comparing them, and see if we can beat our best round here, which I think is 15 in this series so far. Today, we're gonna be taking a look at the new Paul McBeth Test Flight Kratos. We have a CT one, and we have a Sparkle one, as well as a Crystal Sparkle Luna, which was from the Ledgestone drop, which we'll be comparing today to see if this should make your bag, or if it's any different, or if it's just a beaded Luna. It might be Luna tooled. I'll have to show you that in a second. This is Johnny Roberts. It's one of the most popular courses in the nation because it's the local pitch and putt here in Denver, and there's kind of a thriving disc golf community. Oh, terrible. Oh, we're turning those over a little bit, huh? At least I can throw them on Anheuser. That's a win. Oh, that Luna's way too straight. Hit a house. Nice. For today's video, we're not gonna be taking these guys back to the lab because honestly, we should be able to tell everything that we need to out here with them. We will do some profile comparisons and show you the tooling after a couple holes, and we'll be putting with the Luna itself, whereas we'll have the CT Kratos to putt with. No ace runs on hole 1, straight ahead 153. You guys told me there's gonna be left of this. I think it's gonna be really overstable, but in all my little warm-ups, it really hasn't been. And we got a headwind. Like, that's so straight. For what? Here's a Luna for comparison. More hyzer. Flips up slightly. Don't go in. Ooh, baby. Nice and OB. Like, I know I was in the way for that one, but I don't know. It's like a not as overstable MB, in my opinion, to get started. They kind of surprised me. I know this is a headwind, but they seem to be pretty floaty like a Luna, like very glidey, but they do have some fade at the end. I think it's just more of straight with fade, whereas a lot of the Lunas I've thrown have been way flippier than I thought a Luna was supposed to be. And of course, this is just like my specific discs, and discs vary, but I definitely thought this would be more, wow, dude. Definitely thought it'd be more overstable. Good start, good start. The good news for you guys, today, I'm starting a video, which is gonna take me about a week to produce, which is gonna be the putter wars, with a bunch of infinite putters, as well as non-infinite putters that fit my hand really well, that I bought to kind of see which one I'm gonna be putting with for the season, and then also just getting practice in, because wow, that was a bad start. Definitely should warm up the putter next time. Luna went right OB, so par in the first hole. I mean, they do feel very similar, except this one does have that little bit of extra bead. The Luna was never the most comfortable disc for me, but I think it is slightly more comfortable to me than the Kratos. Oh, that's pretty good. Throw a little more hyzer with the Luna. A little more flip on that one. Same exact spot. They all landed in the exact same spot. My very first impressions are these, is that this is much more like the Berg versus Berg X video that I actually did here as well. Look, these are parked. There's a guy behind me, so we're just gonna call that a birdie. And I use that Berg versus Berg X comparison because the Berg X isn't like a supremely overstable disc. It just seems to be a little more reliable than the Berg was. And so far, that's really what these are showing to me. Even up here in Denver, and I am throwing them into a headwind, so maybe throwing them into neutral or tailwinds will show us even bigger differences. But I've been surprised that this would be like a pro level Luna, which I guess is what they're kind of going for. But even the Zone versus Zone OS has significantly more difference than what I found between this Luna and this Kratos. And this Luna I thought was on the flippier sides of Luna. Like it seems to be a little less overstable than my like newer MVs that I throw. You guys will see it's a little bit different than some other discs that I compare it to probably after hole 9. And maybe it's just because it's so glidey. But after 2 holes, it surprised me that besides the feel, you could tell me that this was like one of those Anthony Barella Big Z Lunas in stability, and I'd probably believe you. Who knows? Maybe it's just the disc that I got. We got 16 holes to figure it out. All right, we're having someone play through us real fast, but this hole is, of course, in the iciest area and is the longest hole, 273. Honestly, we're going now into a slight tailwind. It feels like no wind right now. Maybe these have more differences when you throw them at high power, which I did kind of notice in my initial testing. So this one, we'll try to throw at it on some flex and just hope that it fights out of it and maybe finishes. The Luna, we might throw at it on some hyzer since we're throwing them a little bit harder. So like, it's just holding so much straighter than you'd think. Like, that's so odd. Now here's the Luna. It always amazes me how busy this course gets, because there's literally like 2 people stacked up behind me. One of them was looking for a disc that I played through, and now he's behind me. There's like people at every hole here. And I think it's like maybe 11:45 on a Monday. These guys kind of ripped. Luna doesn't really have too much of a shot. But to be honest, out of my hand, I thought the Kratos was perfect. Like maybe even would flex into an ace run, but it just kind of stayed so straight. No chance. Little forehander. No! A part of me does want to take this to the lab now to just look at the marketing materials, but I think we can do this while we break down a couple of these holes. But first, we gotta take a look at the profile. This is so much straighter than I expected it to be, and so much straighter than the ones that seem to be in Anthony Barella's video. Maybe I'm just the worst AB, which is the case. But we didn't have to realize it like this. Here's a look at the Kratos versus the Luna. The Kratos basically just looks like you put a bead on it. The depth, to me, honestly looks the same. Like, I feel like if you were to put these on a table, they would come up to the same height, but instead of all that height coming from this roundness, it's like a little bit more truncated, and then there's a bead. So I almost wonder if they put a bead below it, if it would make it more overstable. Maybe it's just the plastic, because this plastic does tend to be a little bit more on the more understable side. Let's take a look at the tooling. You can see right there that it says Luna. Hopefully you can see that. I know these are just the test flights, and typically some of the test flights have been even more overstable than the disc that they're going after. I'm hoping that's not the case here. I know the Venom was really, really overstable and then the stock runs weren't quite as much. I know that the Zone OS was really, really overstable and the stock runs were slightly less. So it's kind of surprising me that this is less overstable than I expected. Maybe closer to the 3302, because I mean, you saw that Luna in a tailwind flipped up and turned and like never came back. And that was only throwing it 280 feet or so. I will say I have been like working on some form things that I've been working, which I think I actually have a video coming out tomorrow about. And so like that felt like the easiest I've ever reached that hole with a putter, but I think that also has to do with the glide because they also push pretty far past the basket. Oh, dude.
Did you just hit the basket on that?
Yeah, it's so close. Dang. Oh, no chance. Cut the camera. I mean, like a lot of these discs, when I have this kind of reaction, it has a really nice flight. It just is not what I'm expecting it to fly like. But maybe for Paul and Discraft, it is because they're just trying to go after the beaded putter people instead of just the not beaded. At least they're throwing it good. You can probably see the basket a bit kind of through these trees. It's only 150. So another kind of soft little turnover with these guys. We'll see if we can throw it nose up enough to have it stall. Oh no. It was definitely nose up, and it definitely stalled it, but it was not close to the basket. Kratos. That's better. Much better. Oh my gosh. 2 holes in a row, dude. Go in. Oh, not that one. This thing is an ace-seeking missile, I guess. At least I'm throwing it where I want in these shorter ones. Maybe this is my new upshot disc. Holy cow. Can I just cut the putting out of this video, please? I know I like putting as a part of these reviews because it's like not for anything serious. It's just for fun. Putting doesn't really determine my opinion on these discs at all, but it's like a fun little aspect that I like to have to it. And historically, I was decent at putting at least. In order to choose my putter, I'm gonna be doing like 5,000 to 10,000 reps of putting. So that will help down the hill, 275. Kratos has the box now. So I think the thing is like this one, I'm not gonna hyzer flip. It'll probably hold a hyzer. This will probably be more of like hold whatever line you want with the soft finish, whereas that one is kind of flippier. So we'll try to throw like a big hyzer almost like over or around this green tree. So like it holds it very well. Oh my gosh, it's so glidey. That was, I mean, it's downhill, but that was a 300-foot hyzer. And the Luna will also throw on hyzer, but we'll have to flip it a little bit. Whew. Wow, these go so far. And a little flex with the CT. Wow, it is drifty. I will say, these are coming out clean. Not how I'd expect at all, but coming into them with preconceived notions, which you really can't do. People are marketing about a disc and saying, oh, it's more of a stable Luna, it's blah, 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 blah. You can't really come in without preconceived notions. But if I was to not have those, I would really like this flight. And I think the comparison of the Berg to the Berg X is pretty apt. Shorter up shots. Nice. Kratos in the basket. Flat to hyzer. Oh my gosh, dude. This thing is flying good for me. That's it. Wow, they're so glidey. They just never want to come to the ground. That's actually it. No, not enough. Dang. There we go. No. I typically force a forehand on this hole, and I think we might with the CT one, but actually we'll force it with the Metal Flake one, but we'll definitely just throw the backhands, try to ace. Because one, my forehand has been real bad, and two, this is definitely not a disc I would ever forehand. Kratos? No, not even close to right enough. Dang. Great height though. Full forehand metal flake guy. Kind of holds. Really reminds me of a more understable P3X from Discmania. Nice. This thing looks really cool to putt with. This plastic is so fun. So the reason that personally right now I'm not been the biggest fan of just how far and how glidey these are is that glide kind of tends to be a little bit unpredictable, especially in the wind. I think that it can be super useful for a lot of different shots, but these more approach style shots, which are really what I'm throwing with these right now, and like driving putter shots, unless I just really want something to be aired out, which you typically don't if you're throwing a putter off the tee. A little bit of extra glide here I think is great if you're not very spinny in your throw or you don't have a very high arm speed, because it'll make up for a lot of that and it'll be a little bit more forgiving for some of the angles that you put it on, because it is a little less angle sensitive. Like, it's not gonna dump on you and it's not really gonna roll on you. It's gonna have more time in the air to kind of fight out of either of those. So if you're looking for something like that, these are both good, and the Kratos is definitely more overstable. And I think if you spin the disc less, you'll probably notice more overstability compared to the Luna. Not even that I'm the best spinner or have the highest arm speed, like not even close, but that's just what I notice being able to throw probably consistently, and we'll call it 440, maybe 450 on my full power shots with my drivers. But that's how I feel about it so far through 8 holes. After this hole, we'll get to those comparisons, but this is a little toughie first. Not really an aceable one. This is really one we're trying to park. If you hit the ground, you lose speed. See, that's even almost a straighter skip than I expected. Typically, when you throw something slow, like a putter or a mid-range, and it's more on the understable side, once it skips, it'll either skip straight or counter skip if it's like understable. It's kind of weird because like it hits the ground, moves directions, and then like catches more understability. It's a little bit of an odd phenomenon. So for something that's supposed to be slightly more overstable, whereas the Luna is also supposed to be even an overstable disc, it's kind of surprising to see that straight to almost counter skip from that. Oh, that flips so much. Oh, gross. I have a 3-week ultimatum. If my putting is this bad in 3 weeks, everybody needs to unsubscribe. It's not gonna be. I'm gonna practice plenty, but like, gosh. This is incredible. If you see that I'm stepping up to a putt, just press the right arrow button to skip 5 seconds ahead. Maybe do it 2 or 3 times so that we just get onto the next tee pad. And you might enjoy your life a little bit more in this video. At this point, it's a good thing that you're headed to the field right now to go and look how these compare to some other discs before we get onto the back 9. So these are actually gonna be my first throws with the Kratos. I haven't taken it out yet. I think I'm gonna probably call it Kratos because that rolls off the tongue easier than Kratos. I also have a couple other comparisons real fast. We have an Infinite Discs S-Blend Tomb, which is maybe a little bit shallower, but is also beaded. I think it's gonna be more straight than the Kratos. I have the Prism Plasma Envy, one of my more overstable ones. This is the disc that I basically threw last year for this lot. I have a new Discmania P3X, which just came out, as well as an Alpaca, an iBlend one from Infinite. So we're just gonna give them a couple quick flex lines, not throwing them super hard. The hyzers will probably react relatively the same, because I don't really think I'm gonna be flipping these Kratos. Holds a little bit, straightens out. Even though I think the P3X is deeper, the P3X actually kind of, oh, they're about the same. But because the P3X bevels more before the bead, I actually think it's slightly more comfortable because this is like pushes everything out to the outer rim. So a little nose up. Not quite as overstable as I expected people saying they were. We are in a tailwind as well. Here's a P3X. A better throw, but it was also slightly more overstable, I'd say. You heading this way? Gotcha. Tomb. Tomb had a little bit more late fade once it slowed down. Whew, overstable. Wow. We'll throw them back one more time since those also constituted a little bit of warm-ups. But the P3X, the Alpaca seem to be more overstable. The Tomb, the S-Blend one, surprisingly similar. The Envy is very beat in. Also was similar to the Kratos, but probably starts out slightly more overstable, but that'll very much depend on the plastic of Envies. This Kratos isn't quite as overstable as I thought. I watched Anthony Barella's video on it, and the crystal ones that he had were definitely more overstable than these ones. But now we're throwing into a headwind, so we'll try to throw them flat to a touch of anhyzer. Here's the Sparkle Kratos first. Wow, that holds up very well. Okay, and we didn't hit that, which is a plus. Throw the P3X next, because I think they'll be pretty similar. P3X maybe a little, yeah, slightly more overstable, and maybe even glidier. But pretty similar flights, honestly. The other beaded one, the Tomb, which kind of surprised me. I just, something about it, it just doesn't really sit well with me. Just definitely glidier on the anhyzer, but but it has like almost like a Berg X-esque finish, or maybe Neon-esque, where it like gets slow and then it like dies. Way more overstable, somehow. The Alpacas, it could be a release issue because I don't get clean releases with them all the time. Here's an Envy. The Envy seems to be a little more pushy. Wow, that one's kind of like the Envy, honestly. So let's get back onto it, whichever hole we're on. I don't know. Hopefully we get an ace though. These discs are flying nice for me today. Welcome back, straight ahead there. There's kind of this outside line, which is like great for some hyzer flip-ups, but I think if we just throw from this side of the T-pad, kind of on some hyzer with the Luna, maybe just try to get it in there. Uh-oh. That wasn't as right as I needed it to be. That's a putt though. That could do it. Get down, please. Why are you so understable? Oh, it's the danger gap. There we go. Kratos is the box. A little tight flex, almost flat on how much flex I'm gonna put on it, hopefully. Just like that. Oh yeah. Oh, great kick too, but like, the fact that I'm throwing that only about 200 feet of power and it's still barely like getting back overstable it's still surprising to me, honestly. We'll throw the other side of this tree since these people are here. What? One of these is gonna have to go in at some point today. That's 3 freaking cage hits so far. Did the Luna just bounce straight in the water like a ding dong? Oh no, it's actually got a putt. Birdie. Kratos is the box, little headwind. Oh no. No! Just keep it straight. Smooth. No flip up. Got it. How is it not gonna, what? No chance. All right, no birdies there. We could technically still go 9 through 9. We just gotta get this ace. 195, straight ahead. We honestly can still salvage a pretty good score, but acing sounds way more fun, so. Too overstable. I was a little nose up because of the hill that we're going up, and that's where I think you could see the overstability start. Because I think I've been throwing pretty neutral nose angle today. Stay up. Oh, dang. We'll just take a quick look to see. Paul McBeth Kratos. Discraft should have a sight on it so far. The Anthony Barella video's up. Discraft does it have anything on it? Maybe people are just saying stuff. Maybe it's just like, maybe it's not even meant to be a more overstable version. Maybe it's just meant to be a beaded version, in which case, very true to the numbers, I would say. Okay, maybe on Discraft's Instagram. I'm like also following me on Instagram. I'm trying to get to 10K, 300 something off. That'd be sick, but let's go check out Discraft Disc Golf. Something about the Test Flight Kratos here. Looked like they sold them at the expo. I can't find anything about it. Okay, if I can't find anything about it from Discraft themselves, maybe it's just everybody hyping up that it's a more stable Luna. Because I definitely see that it's beaded, but it is more stable of a Luna, but it's not like a Luna OS. Wow, that's surprising. I definitely thought I'd find something from Discraft about it, and maybe they will put something up. No way. Too straight. I like iced myself. Dang it. I so iced myself. Sheesh. I spent so much time sitting on that bench that I got the throw and I chilled out too much. The ace juices weren't flowing, so now we gotta run to get them back. No. Oh, maybe I should straddle putt more. Way too far. Too low. Dang. And right. Wow, no fade even there? Oh. That was just bad. 3 holes to go. No idea scoring, but they might be close to tied, honestly. And probably both not at 10 under yet, so hopefully we can get these last 3 at least. Probably, definitely 100% snag an ace for you. Keep watching. And then we'll do a little bit of a max distance test. Go to a field and just see how far we can rip them. Way too far, I think. Ooh. Oh, 2 nose up. There's a little bit more stability there. I threw that one very slow. I like went through my motions and then I just like poofed out my hand instead of actually using my hips. Stay flipping, stay flipping. Dang, good shot though. Wow, that's impressive. Oh, I thought that flipping one. Hey, don't worry, there's an approximately 0% chance I'm making you watch me putt those out. Throwing these things has been absolutely a delight. Putting them, on the other hand, we're at Upper Badlands, which doesn't really have a great field, but I came here because it has a phenomenal putting area, and I started the filming of that putting video, which might actually come out 2 weeks from now, but let's give some max distance rips. We also don't have a rangefinder, so we'll be U-discing it today, giving myself one shot each with these. We might be able to reach that fence, but I kind of doubt it. We'll start with the base plastic one. A little more hyzer than I'd want. We threw it into the yard. Don't worry, I didn't just trespass. I think there was a tailwind that we threw that into, but I think it was like 350 and it hit some trees. Now we're just gonna see how far we can throw it. Kind of down this hill, because why not? That sounds fun. A little hyzer flippy. Keep going down the hill. Okay. Flip more. That's kind of surprising. Wow. Kind of kept it on hyzer. Now this one we'll try to throw a big flex, ride the wind. Oh, I stalled it a bit too. It's kind of surprising. And I do have one Envy in the bag. Much better nose angle. That might be farther. Wow. So Crater's kind of like a beaded version of an Envy, I guess. All right. Let's let it settle over here. Obviously, you can see we're down the hill, like probably about 8 to 10 feet elevation drop. And the Envy is sitting at, wait for it to settle. Okay, it's fluctuating between there. We'll call it 390. Kratos is a little farther. We're chilling at just over 400. 403 we'll call it. Super downhill. And then Luna, another Kratos. Okay, first Kratos, which we really stalled, is right there. Try to hyzer flip it, didn't really turn it. And then this Luna is the last one, which is chilling right at, we'll call it 397. Plus or minus 16 on those. I would definitely minus a 16. But pretty good rips with these discs. Thanks for watching. If you want to see another Johnny Putter review, bang, right there. Massive thank you to Discraft for sending me these out. Sorry for thinking that you lied to me. You didn't even market it. People are just talking. Crazy. See you in the next one.